The Whiskey Brothers podcast is intended for an adult listening audience. If you find yourself easily offended, I guarantee this will do it.
They don't want no problem. Nah.
From Houston, Texas, the Whiskey Brothers podcast starts now.
Welcome everybody to the Whiskey Brothers podcast. I believe this is 963.
963.
Our march towards 1,000
1,000
continues. I am your host, Slade Ham. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit there. Cord is, but I got cords all over the place.
Yeah.
It's there we are. Anyway, Trey Tutson to my
up,
right,
man?
my compatriot for the last month. I feel like we haven't even missed a beat. In fact, we picked up a couple of steps, and across from me, Jerry Wayne Longmire, my
up,
brother.
baby?
Let's start right
let's
there
get
with
this
a
in.
toast.
Salute, guys.
Cheers.
Oh my God.
Trey and I have not
Cheers.
really been drinking.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
I have.
You've been drinking?
And of course, Adam Taylor on the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, learning the 5s and 6s. Man, hadn't done a shot of whiskey in a minute. We have a very few bottles left of anything, and that's our last bottle of Old Humble.
Firewater.
Old Humble Distilling Company, our sponsor for many moons.
Damn.
Wasn't nothing that painful in Europe, was there?
Damn. My bad.
Welcome home,
It is good to be
America.
back. We have been through
America's acquired taste.
We've been through so many countries. We started in Poland. We worked our way into Germany. We had tiptoes through Belgium and the Netherlands, and then we went up to the UK where Trey learned religion and brought it home with him. As is brought to you by him screaming at the Lord right now.
Burning. I'm sorry, bro. Woo, we didn't do no shots. Like
No.
we talking about, we drank, but we wouldn't like.
When you
We weren't going
when you
hard
take
like
two
that.
Whiskey Brothers overseas, one would be led to believe that it would be a drunken fest all across Europe, and everything would just be a mess, and every morning would be hangovers, and we were so goddamn spoiled. We were drinking red wine the whole time.
You would have thought.
Pinkies in the air.
You'd have thought we
Tour bus
was
living.
You'd have thought we was both married. The way we. The way we was.
I see y'all drinking fancy beer and shit.
It's
With
We
people.
let it be Lowenbrow. That's that. But the aside from the local beers and things like that, man, we were so sober the whole time.
Most of
Well,
the
yeah,
time.
that's one of those experiences you want to be sober for. I mean, there's,
Yeah, but
there's
you-
some things I like to be drunk for. At
was-
car fire,
I got hammered one night.
Yeah.
Right, one night. So we get over. I don't know how we get into this, but basically when we got over there, I'm counting black people,
Yeah, yeah.
and not immediately. I say about day 5 or 6, and six about a weekend.
And you saw the third
I
one.
seen you when you said you didn't know
Because-
you didn't have a limit.
Because, yeah. Because I was.
He
Go
pulls
ahead,
me
go ahead.
aside, and we're walking through Berlin, and I'm inside ordering. I'm drinking a beer and ordering some food, and I hear, "Hey man, and I go, "Wait." He goes, "Come here." He goes, "I need just here, man. Take my phone. I need some pictures." And there was a group of Ghanese from Ghana.
Ghanaian.
That is, I should have known, or maybe I shouldn't have. Ghanaian ladies, and they're standing there, and Trey just had to get in the middle of them. He was just, "Oh, touch me," pretending to take
I
pictures.
did.
He needed to be rubbed.
I go, hey, listen. I was like, I need y'all to take a picture with me. And one of the girls go, he crazy. Like very American. Like, I'm like, oh, this is universal.
Yeah, he's
Oh
got
my
emoji
God!
eyes.
I really need you in the picture now.
And I go, no, listen, I really need a picture with y'all. This is the most melanin I've seen since I've been here. Could y'all please take a picture with me? And then they hugged me in.
Yeah.
And then I found out that I favor those people, Ghanaians. Because where I was at, the one place I got fucked up, but really got drunk at, I met a Nigerian girl, and she was telling me, like, she was like, you favor those people. You know, she's proud of where she's from. And I'm like, why? You know, hey, I'm a little envious because I wish I had this information.
So wait, she can do this with like African nations the way we can do it with states. Like if the eyebrows are a little pronounced, you're like Alabama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's structure in your cheekbones and your face that
Like-
tells where you're from, West, East Africa, or whatever. And me not having any knowledge of any of this, it was beautiful for somebody to be like, I really believe that you know.
Wow.
And there's people that I run into where I'll tell you it's fucked up when your history gets deleted and all this type of shit. You find out what tribe you and somebody are from in the spur of the moment. Like Kenji Alonso is Ghanaian, and people mistake me and him for each other all the time, including my sisters. He came to a pool party. They was like, "Hey Trey," he was like, "All right, this is bullshit. Okay, I'm at his house. How is this happening at his house?"
Well, you could tell white people apart from different facial structures.
Yeah,
stuff.
but
you
we
can,
don't-
You
we
can
don't
tell
have-
if people are Irish by their cheeks. You can tell if people are Italian because they're terrible. There's all kind of stuff you can figure out.
Fair, yeah. Very good. So, but that night, I'm doing that. I'm doing a bit that I'm doing, and I mentioned Hennessy, and then there's these black people that's there. It's about 6 of them, about 5 or 6 of them, and they all just started buying me. They started buying me Hennessy shots.
But they're happy to see you too.
And yeah, exactly.
You
We're all
upped the
happy to
count.
see each other. But I was like, hey, listen, you can't. I don't like that. Like, don't send me liquor. That is basically you get the best use of this liquor when there's a woman around. Like this requires a woman.
Yeah, I got you.
Someone to fuck or beat. But I need a woman available.
Y'all are worrying me.
Yeah.
Why are you providing me with this?
And
This is not something 2 dudes should be drinking. 3
yeah,
dudes should be drinking.
it's just me and Fort. I'm like, and, no disrespect, but I just don't prefer that. It don't smell right. So
right off the bat, I'm not the woman.
I'm not the woman.
Not in this.
So they give me
Not
the
till
shots.
that 3rd shot.
Yeah.
It's
It's gonna be a surprise to both of us. So then they started sending me Hennessy substitutes, which is Remy.
Ooh.
So I'm doing all these shots and everything, and then they didn't, and then that was the only night I got messed up, and I met.
But
this
you
girl-
were not just drinking that. You were drinking. We had done a beer and a whiskey together earlier that night, right?
No, that's a different night. That was a different night that I was mixing all of that stuff. That was matter of fact, that was the last
two
night.
nights.
Despite what I
nights
said,
you got
despite
fucked
what I said, this is clearly we were the opposite. That's
But it wasn't every night.
exactly
We
what you
did, it was
expected.
spread. We had, what is it called? Carpet bomb, whatever the fuck.
Too much time with the Air Force.
Yeah,
You used that term over there, did
Yeah,
you?
we-
That one's not real popular in Germany.
or many other places we
Yeah.
visited.
They get a little cunty about it in Dresden, believe it or not.
But the girl I met,
Turn the lights out.
the girl I met,
genocide
I won't
is
say
funny.
her name. We'll just call her Dessert. She had a name that was after dessert, and she was real flirty and kind and all this the whole night. And she was explaining herself, and she was older than me, and it was dope because the Hennessy was making me realize, like, oh man, I appreciate my dad for being a pimp so much, because I know her. Remember, she was explaining, I'm doing this, I've been all this stuff that she was doing. I was like, the only thing I'm hearing right now is that you desperately need your pussy ate. That's the only thing that I'm hearing. All this tension that's
You were
been built.
decoding.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that's what you need. She's like, I do, but I'm being abstinent and I'm being strong. And I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna
Respect.
shame you. You're being abstinent. That is a
I
strong
like
thing
that
you're
she goes,
doing.
I do, but
like Shakespeare. My pussy doth need eating.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
such a hillbilly that when he said the dessert, I was like, Jello?
That's
That sounds exotic.
yeah. Her name
that
was
girl's
Puddin'.
name was banana
back
pudding
at
with
it,
Oreos
Jell-O.
crumbled in it with a little bit of chocolate sauce and some cherry frosted and 3 Pop-Tarts. That was her
I
name?
got oddly specific there.
Hold the bananas.
Yeah, but then I'm talking to her, and she's saying all this, and it's like I admire your strength, but all strength isn't smart. You know what I mean? Abstinence is stupid. You're sitting up in here with all this tension and all this intensity and all this everything that you're carrying,
Hennessy.
and all this Hennessy, and you just all you really need is to come really hard on somebody's face, and
How are you not a counselor?
because I'm not qualified.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
So,
What gave it away? That fucking answer?
I'm not qualified. I
I know
should
some
be.
people that could benefit from his counseling.
I'm not
So-
saying.
I bet more than a handful.
Oh man, 1,000% of
Oh, you
people.
know, you should talk to my friend Trey.
No, if
Yeah.
they had a handful, they
So
wouldn't
much
need
shit
that.
out of
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
I'll wait.
so I'm talking to her, dude,
Sorry I'm late on that.
and then she goes,
I wasn't expecting it from me either.
she's flirting. I say, so what's up, man? You gonna keep me company? You gonna babysit me? Cause she's old enough to be my mom. And I go, you gonna babysit me? She was like, no, actually, I gotta go home to my kids. And I go, oh, you got kids? I said, yeah. I said, how old are your kids? She goes 21 and 18. I was like, wait a minute, bitch. You don't need to be going home to them. You need to be kicking them out. You need to be finding them in a place. What the fuck do you mean? You going home to some grown men that you not fucking? That's stupid.
But it's good that she's not.
But anyway, that was the one time I got really drunk.
That was,
And,
yeah. But past that, it was pretty much just sober fest.
We
like,
was pretty
and-
sober, like pretty clean out there.
Until I reach a certain level of comfort in
Uh-huh.
a country, I maintain a level of I need to know what the fuck is going on around me at
You
all
say
times.
a country or the country?
Any country, you know. I'm talking. Look,
I mean, when I'm in Montgomery County.
this worked for me in Kuwait. This worked for me in Montgomery County.
Okay.
Well, one of those is way more dangerous than the other.
Oh
Yeah, and it's a.
Hint, it's not Iraq.
What are you gonna say, buddy? Go ahead.
But no, I'm just saying I tried to like when I used to travel a lot and I tried to maintain that because I saw it's real.
He was in the protection. He was in the protection of white people in a white land.
Yeah,
So-
but even with
Just
that,
walking
they have
confidently.
different rules than us. The military guys live by different rules than us, and they have different things that matter to them, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was cool, but it wasn't as I'll tell you this. I think because of COVID, it made everything way more refreshing because they were just happy to see other people and see something different. So maybe like before, because of
No, don't get me wrong.
Uh-huh.
Like when we went to Kuwait and Iraq,
uh-huh.
and they were so happy for every show, and they were really cool.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any alcohol there.
Right.
I mean, there
Right.
was, but there
Yeah.
wasn't a lot.
You
Gotcha,
know, in a
gotcha.
shampoo bottle. And
Yeah, and it was just a whole lot of sobriety. But I just spent I used to travel for work and stuff in the oil field. And,
Yeah.
you know, I got hammered in Budapest, but only after I'd been there 9 days, and I kind of had a feel for the land and felt like, well, nobody's gonna rape me and rob me if this happens.
I'll tell you this.
know?
Yeah. What does that say about Budapest? It takes you 9 days to be convinced you're not
You've
going to be
met
raped and
Radu, right?
robbed.
You've met Radu, right?
Yeah. Untrustworthy. That's what
It
Radu
would take
stands
me
for.
9 days hanging out with Radu before
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna get drunk around this guy.
I learned a lot.
You should do 10.
Fucking
You
funny.
should do 10.
All right. All right, I'll have another shot. It's the 10th day. I learned a lot about white people over, I'm talking about American white people. Not, I got to see all of and it was awesome. But
Got to see how they were.
I
before we got
just
here.
got to learn because I was around you, Julie, and JR.
Mhm.
We were fantastic.
Bucharest, the capital of
What kind
Romania.
of cross section is that, though?
Cross section, what do you mean?
If you take Julie,
Uh-huh.
no offense. If you
No,
take
no, go ahead.
Julie, Slade, and JR, what cross section of America is that? There's a whole lot of
No, you know what,
In
man?
that cross-section.
I'm going to tell you what's funny. Hold on.
We don't talk about where you're from, but we know where you're from.
Here's what okay, and I'll tell you what that is. It was a great batch of it was a great batch of a stretch of all of the whiteness from the Gulf Coast. It was
Okay,
great Gulf Coast
I don't know where
whiteness.
Julie's from.
I mean, Julie's from North
South- yeah.
Carolina.
Oh, I just
So-
heard her voice, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I know
North
a little something about this lady.
It's coastish.
You know,
but-
yeah,
But I
The
love
coastal
Julie.
whites.
Julie's like a awesome great aunt.
yeah
You
she
know what
seemed
I
really
mean?
Cool.
Fucking sweet. But Julie, if Julie was 32, I would hate Julie's fucking guts. I would hate Julie's fucking guts if she was in her 30s.
Why?
Because she is a blue-haired white woman. She's like super over the top, that version of white woman. Like she believes in all the causes and stands up for them even if they're not around. That was all we talked about. JR's cool. Like, JR's are cool, but
I
you
love
could
JR.
tell
Like Julie's,
I've
Julie's.
known
When you
JR
say
for
it,
a
like
number of
believer,
years.
she's as liberal.
she's as
like,
liberal as they come. Yeah.
Heartfelt, legitimately
Yeah.
bleeding heart liberal. Whatever the cause is,
What-
she's on board.
Which, at her age,
Oh, okay, I'm married to that.
at that
Yes.
age, huggable. At that age, very huggable. I love you. You just care. Right? 30 years young, you're like, bitch, stop caring. I want to live life. I want to enjoy
No, stop
shit.
caring. Stop caring.
Caring, yes, exactly.
Maybe the young ones just don't do it as good. you
They
know?
don't. And it was cool. And JR was like super dope because he's just a cool guy. You could
He's
tell
a
like
nut, man. I love
you could tell like, oh, there used to be some shit that's in this, some shit that they're still sprinkling in there. Like when I called him Gay R, I was like, all right, he was raised in the 80s. Like you can still, you know
got
what
a
I
little
mean?
uptight.
Yeah, he got a little bit like, hey, motherfucker. Like you got a
He
little bit of
straightened
that.
his lip up, like, hey,
Matter of
hey,
fact, he
hey.
started sounding like you. I was like, we got the wrong JR on. so that like,
JR turned into me.
yeah. And then, like I say, then you could see you could see the transition. So it was dope to see sort of, you could see all of it. And then I'm sitting in there witnessing it. And one thing they all have in common, and I think this is just an American white thing, is that white people are very unreasonable before coffee. If you
I
motherfuckers
can't argue that. I
if
can't
you
argue that.
motherfuckers ain't got no coffee,
Can't argue.
generally speaking,
Yeah.
I know you know, I don't know what the
I
fuck you're.
drink some coffee, but I don't get all worked up.
You don't get
But
all worked up.
I know, like my mother-in-law, very, very close. Rachel's mom are
Mm-hmm.
real super tight. But I know not to fuck with her before about 10 a.m. because
And
she
I
needs to have her coffee and
guarantee
be cool, and then she can
That's
play the dozens. But
yes.
before 10 a.m., you need to leave her alone.
all American slurs were created before coffee.
that's
I can guarantee you.
Somebody was just sitting there with
Irritated,
Like,
just like-
what's a good word that starts with N?
because if you listen to the growl,
early morning crossword puzzles. That's how we got there.
N, 8 letters, 9,
It's the-
7.
it's-
I don't know. Just a lot of letters.
it's the growl in the slurs that let you know it's before coffee. Because everybody's attitude is very
Lots of G's. and
nigger
R's.
fits right in with that. Like it just fits in with.
So
Yeah,
JR had boss
lot of
face
G- yes.
before coffee.
Huh?
JR had boss face before coffee.
JR was
It
just
goes both ways.
very
Crackers.
he
right
couldn't
there.
he couldn't deal with volume. That was his thing. Hey man, he's right there. He was very it was doing that shit. But then he had a coffee.
Old musicians get that way too because they blow their ears
He's
out.
he's an old musician.
And he's an old musician.
Old
that's-
musicians.
So his
My
yeah.
Uncle Bobby's the same way. He just certain sounds. come
Yeah.
on.
So he would say that shit. Hey man, Slade's right there. But then he'd have his coffee. He'd be like, "You're so passionate, brother." Like he would.
You
he
know
would,
so many
he
things.
would be
You showed me so
understanding.
many
Yeah.
things.
He'd have a coffee.
Everything I
He'd
talk to you
understand.
about, you know something about.
Changing the way. That's
But that shit was straight across the board. The driver, Rico's German. He's as white as they come.
Well,
This
I was
motherfucker-
reading, JR's story post and stuff.
Oh,
about
so that's
that guy.
Michael. Mike's
Oh,
Mike's
okay,
a
that's
different
the other guy,
driver.
the German
Rico
guy.
has
Mike's
for the first half.
Yeah, but
Rico has
He
dreadlocks
sounds
and he is
amazing.
very
I
punk
wanna
rock.
Go live
Yeah.
with Mike.
Mike's incredible.
Mike's an awesome guy. Mike knows everybody. There ain't a person you can bring up, and Mike ain't
Dude,
got a
dude,
story.
Bootsy Collins. That's
Not
one of
just
the
new
coolest
Bootsy
stories.
Collins. He's also a official member of Johnny Cash's band.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
There, I mean,
Of course he
he's
is.
got yeah. There's
Awesome guy.
he's
How did
got,
they pay him?
He's got a story. I hired him.
Extincted birds.
With our company, Jr. That's what we hung our hats on. The fact that we're good goddamn conversationalists.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned a lot, man. I
Greg,
wish.
I,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I wish people got to see the Slade I got to see.
Wait,
I
hang on.
will
don't
say
know-
that.
I don't know how you mean
I
that.
didn't see you naked. Okay. You're Lebanese. I know what to expect.
My mind immediately went to, well, that was a lot of awkward time in a hotel.
Yeah.
room.
No, now in the UK they don't believe in urinal dividers. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
very true thing.
Well,
Yeah.
Trace used to be molested. I mean, it's,
I will say this. I don't promote molestation. However, if you were looking to do it in a German bathroom. Because it's in a basement and it's far away. So nobody will hear them scream.
nobody can hear you scream in a
yeah.
German bathroom.
But no one will hear you scream in a German bathroom. It's fucking
Some movie poster, you know.
yeah, right?
the Sigourney Weaver's still in there.
Yeah.
Beefer.
Yeah, that's subtext for A Quiet Place 3. A German bathroom. No, I wish people got to see the Slade that I got to see. Just sweet and caring. And like very you find yourself latching on to his every move and everything that he's doing because you so confident that he's gonna troubleshoot everything.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
just he made
He's a good
the
problem
whole
solver,
entire
no doubt.
experience easy. Every day, knowing what was gonna happen, and then just being a fucking true friend throughout the entire process.
Yeah, while you're
Giving
enjoying
me
your
moments to
experience.
just like, he just be like, man, just soak it in.
He
you
remembered,
know?
he remembered the first time he saw it. He's giving you that minute that, like, hey, somebody was probably rushing him the first time.
I'll say
Yeah.
I'll say this:
When-
traveling with Trey is like carrying 2 backpacks. So I'm kidding. We can only go so soft for so long.
Just meaning that they're blacking
I
on
just
your
stole
back.
Trey-
That was what
I
you
just stole
meant?
Trey's water. Welcome to America.
No, sell it back to him. That's
That boom. That's exactly. Now you're Americans. You never had a water.
what water?
Would you like some water?
You're lucky we brought you here
Shut
so
up
you
and
could buy our water.
turn the heat up.
Yeah.
Let's see how long. The no, dude, it was for me. I don't know if we talked about this before we left. This was the 20-year, kind of the 20-year anniversary of me. Get out of my camera. The-
But he said, hand me that whiskey. Like he just bitched out his wife. You know, you ain't doing the dishes. You ain't raising the kids, right?
Hand me that goddamn
Ain't no
whiskey.
gas in the car. And I'm just done with this shit. Hand me that whiskey.
Hand me that whiskey.
Hand me that whiskey. Yeah.
Or 2.
I'm not saying you're an abusive father, but you definitely know one.
Fair. I had a lot of good role models.
Yeah, exactly. Hand me that whiskey.
Good lot.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, hand me that whiskey. Look,
Go ahead, buddy.
it was the 20th anniversary of the first time I really left. So in 2001 in October, I'd never been anywhere but the Gulf Coast, and then I went to Germany, and it was like this ta-da, here I am 20 years later moment. And for me, I don't know if that's the same for everybody, but I was getting to watch it through someone's eyes who hadn't seen this shit before, as opposed to me, who's like, I'll sleep in somewhere, I don't give a fuck, just because I need a day off, and I've been there 12 times. It was seeing everything be new, and then JR's story, which was also ridiculous, because we got to go to Berlin. He hadn't been back. I know.
Yeah, all that stuff is.
But
Y'all,
if
we
you
should
want-
have him on to talk about.
But
all that.
but if you want to know about that, you got to check out the episodes of Slade Runner
Yeah.
that Slade is putting out.
that's-
That's a story that we couldn't justify telling
I'm
on
glad
this
you stopped me.
podcast. The only way, the best representation of that is to watch Slade Runner
That's
on YouTube.
I put up a new episode today. I don't ever talk about it on the podcast,
Yeah.
but I decided to teach myself to edit video a
Mhm.
couple of years back and just playing around. So I started using all the travel footage I shoot and do nothing but like I save them like I save books, right? Shit
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get
Just shit
to.
you
I
got,
just had
yeah.
it in all these hard drives,
Mhm.
and I was like, man, maybe I should start putting some of this together. So now I kind of shot with a little bit more purpose while we were traveling, and this little fucker is really good on camera. Which just
Thanks,
reinforces the fact that all of our hopes are on his back now.
I am just so excited because Slade experienced fatherhood. That's what the fuck. Because that's what watching my kids every day is. It's just everything's new to them and it's fucking cool.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
Slade had a paternal moment.
You're 100% right, which explains why I was over it in 3 weeks.
Well, ready to go home to
Drop that
comic
baby
books
off,
and
yeah.
solitary now.
that is my limit.
my main
Hey
thing.
Trey, do you like playing Squid Games? Let's go.
we did that. We shot the episode that came out today is a lot through Poland, and if I don't pause to give shouts out to a lot of the crew out there, we went to. It's hard to even say all the places we went, but particularly BPTA and DPTA, 2 of the training
Yes.
areas out there. Those guys really showed out, and then we were in Poznan. That was really cool.
And one
So,
thing didn't make it on the Poland thing, which I guess we could say on here.
which one?
When me and J.R. Brow, you and Julie were tired, and y'all went back. So we was out all night. Oh man, this is a good story.
It really is.
So we're out, man. We had did the shows and everything, and we're looking to go out. And our liaisons, Anna and Mark Willer, right? They're fucking awesome people.
Mhm.
Mark Willer's from Detroit. Anna's from Poland, but she claims Seattle
Ah.
because that's how shitty Poland is.
Yeah.
and this did get cut
Yeah.
from that last episode when the audio went out, so you haven't even heard it. But We went, dude. You know how after a show, especially on these tours, you're just looking for some food. Where are we gonna go out?
Yeah,
We're
you
gonna go have a
eat.
dinner.
Yeah.
And a soldier recommended this place, and it was cold.
And it's cold. And we're having to eat outside. Now they got the warmers, but it's not.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
rather
There's a
indoors.
certain level of cold where
It's
it just
Poland
sucks.
cold. It's night.
But
Yeah.
this soldier is recommending this. Yo, this is the spot to go to. We get to the spot. We all sitting. It's like what 8 or 9 of us or something like that. So it's a big party or whatever. They get situated. We sit down. Finally, 'cause it was a nice walk. When we sit, we look at the menus. Everything's made
Everything.
with pancakes.
Everything.
Everything. You like lasagna? Guess what? You gonna get that
Lasagna
shit in some
pancakes.
pancakes. You like steak? It's gonna be in pancakes. Everything's in goddamn pancakes, right? And we're all looking at the menu thinking, what the fuck? Everything is with pancakes.
You ever see somebody
And-
when you turn
Was
a
it soldier from Minnesota? that
No,
recommended
but
No,
he
no,
also
no.
he hadn't made it back to the table yet. He had
Yeah.
gone to find these. He had deposited us at this literal international house of goddamn
pancakes, literally.
Sat us down, not come back. And you ever watch someone flip a 2-sided menu 8
So
times?
we're flipping the menu.
Like there's
back and
another
forth.
dimension.
What the fuck? Okay, maybe I can get some
Maybe I
regular
missed
food.
something.
Okay, ain't no regular food on this bitch. What the drinks look like? Do the drinks come with pancakes? What the fuck is up with this menu?
A pancake cosmopolitan.
And Mark Wheeler looked at the menu twice. Flip, and then looked down at us and said, "Hey y'all, what we doing right now?" We're like, "Mark, what you mean? Y'all know everything come with pancakes, right?" Be like, "Yeah, we not really saying nothing." He like, I'm tell y'all now, I'm not eating no motherfucking pancakes. He was like, I'm not eating no motherfucker. He's like, y'all want pancakes? He's like, this is pancakes, y'all. We talking about pancakes. He said, we outside. He's like, I'm not sitting outside for no motherfucking pancakes. I'll sit outside for a steak.
Jerry, you've never seen an executive decision made so quickly. He decided for 9 people in
Yeah.
that moment that nobody wanted to eat no goddamn pancakes.
He was like,
cold.
I'm not doing it. He was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not eating no fucking I'm not eating no goddamn pancakes. It's not happening. So we go, so Mark, so what do you want to do? You want to go somewhere else? Yeah, I'd like to go somewhere else. And y'all do too. Because y'all done flipped these goddamn menus over so many times. He sat and watched us fucking flip and was like, y'all done flipped these menus over. Y'all don't want no pancakes either.
You ever been watching a movie and you wish someone would turn it off?
Yeah.
Me and Slade are sitting next to each other. We're both like, all right, well, we just waiting on him to say when we leaving. Because we already know. Once he said, I'm not eating no goddamn pancakes.
You're watching the fuse burn, and you're like, no one else sees the powder keg.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, we got to blow this building up. You're like, or we just wait for a second. Because that fuse.
We got up, went to this
Did,
steakhouse.
did anybody fight him on
No,
the pancakes? Nobody.
no.
We all stood up before
Bro,
he finished the sentence.
He spoke. He said what we all were
He
thinking.
spoke it
Voice of
into
God.
existence.
Yo, there ain't no goddamn pancakes.
He manifested an exit.
Yes, yes.
So-
Yeah, like a wizard.
Yeah.
Like he did it with Doctor Strange style. He portaled us out of that pancake restaurant.
Fuck this.
Got up. I think we went to this place called White Rhino.
White Bull.
White Bull. Went to this place
Don't
called White
confuse them
Bull
two.
Yeah, no.
Steakhouse. Oh shit, my bad.
One of them will really fuck up a China shop.
Yeah.
There's something that requires
Oh,
a distinction.
Really funny. So we go to White Bull, go to steakhouse. We get to eat inside. At first, we wasn't able to eat inside. We had to eat outside. But once we come back, we're able to eat inside. We get inside. We go. There's somebody on stage that's singing R&B and soul music. Aretha Franklin, everything. They're singing
Good,
soul
good,
music.
like, good.
Lady white as you. This lady is pure, like, little, Yeah, it was amazing. But she had a very soulful voice. It was, like, awesome to see this. And singing and we're eating a steak and everything. And they're asking us, like, hey, how do you want your steak done? So they go over the... No, that was a different night. But that's how do you want your steak done? And you're like, whatever, I don't know, medium well. It was like, hey, just to let you know, when we bring the steak out, it'll still be cooking on the skillet. So how do you want it done? I was like, frozen would be good.
Yeah.
Let's just bring
Walk
it out.
Walk it through a
just-
warm room.
Yeah, just bring it out rare.
We'll let it cook on the slab.
But we're eating there, and then Wheeler he's like a weird dude. So the lady that's singing, she takes a break, and she goes outside, and him and JR go outside while she's smoking a cigarette and they're hanging out. He's like, hey, what's up? Like, how long you been singing? Blah, 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 this, that, and the fourth. He's like, yeah, I've been singing this long. And he was like, what's the spot that all the artists kind of hang out? There's a spot where she was like, yeah, there's a place, there's a pub called, whatever it was called. Well, all artists go hang out. Comedians, poets, this dope spot. So they come back in and tell us. I was like, we're definitely going. We're going to this place. I'm going. I was like, I'm going.
And I said, I'm definitely going to sleep.
Yeah. And the main reason I really want to go is I just had a rough set. So you know how you just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna go up and do some
need to
jokes.
Be around,
I need to do something.
You need to go do something, get something out of your sister. I get it. Yeah.
So Slade and Julie's like, you know, we're tired. You know, we're sleepy. Blah blah nah. So everybody left. The rest of us went to this Polish pub, and man, we go in and it's like, it's like everything you've heard about places. It's small. Low ceilings, the music's blasting.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like old school jazz spots that people talked about that happened in Harlem.
It's a speakeasy.
It's a speakeasy. It's a legit speakeasy.
It's a place where art is made.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these guys are on stage and they're doing jazz and they're doing like contemporary jazz and they're improvising. And I'm sitting there and I'm telling JR, I'm like, man, let's get on stage and let's go up. And JR is reluctant. He's like, I'm like, come on, man, let's just go up and let's go do it. Let's go. I don't, like, come on. He was like, let's go play some foosball first. I was like, you know what? I fucking hate you right now. And he goes and he
Your
kicks me.
sciatica won't let you do comedy,
But it'll let you go play fucking foosball.
Sorry, JR.
But
Love
he
you.
goes over and he kicks these guys' asses in foosball.
Yeah.
So he comes back. I was like, look.
He seems like the kind of guy to be really good
Yeah.
at foosball.
So your confidence
JR's
is
bar
up.
games persona. Yeah.
Darts,
Man.
foosball, pool,
We-
anything.
Not pool.
We
No,
we
really.
go up.
That's
I'm like, let's
disappointing.
go up. We go up. We get JR gets on keys. He's doing keys and he starts singing. I'm holding the mic to him. And the first thing I got up there when I said, I was like, how y'all doing? My name is Trey Tutson and I'm from America. And everybody started laughing, like for whatever reason. They started laughing. And JR singing on keys and he's doing this stuff. And I was like, all right. And then we got all the keys and stuff together. And I sung Redbone by Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
I sung the song and it just like, they just loved it. The place, they didn't want me to get off stage.
They
They just
never
wanted
heard
me
an
to stay up
authentic
there.
voice, you
Yeah.
know, from the same type of culture and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
Like,
wanted me to stay up there, and then we improv this song, and I started this like chant going that said I love Poland. It was like I love Poland. I was like doing that over
you
and
had
over.
a good set.
And yeah, and I'm saying
You know
I
what you
love
needed?
they
You know
thought
what you needed? You needed Will Loden there singing a musical about barbecue ribs and
I'm
Memphis.
That wouldn't have hurt. He was really just screaming, I like Poland.
yeah.
He was just, and they really caught on. It was,
And they loved it. And this fucking Polish dude came up and started trying to say I love Poland in their language, and I was like, hey, I go on the mic, I go, bro, that shit don't fit, bro. I was like, I'm done. I was like, I can't believe this. No matter where you go, white people just don't have rhythm. This is fucking stupid. But that was like the highlight of being in Poland, man, was
So-
just going up and just.
I can understand that experience. I've only done the one overseas comedy tour, but I did it in Iraq and Kuwait with my buddy Chris Shaw, and we became friends on that tour. You know, you're in a stressful situation. Our tour wasn't organized by Slade. Our tour was a whole lot of wait and see and try not to get shot.
we
And
did.
it was sketchy and scary at the time because Iraq was all pretty new.
Yeah.
as far as
Yes.
opening that
You
up.
need a slave.
It was like 2008. We had no Slade. We had Chris, who had been to Korea, and he knew a little bit about military stuff, but this was a different animal.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And
Go
me
ahead,
and him did a show one night, and our very first show on base, we just ate. It was so fucking terrible. It was the worst bombing anybody's ever bombed.
And
It
from
was-
Iraq, that's a
it was-
strong statement.
this was in Kuwait. It was just horrid.
Close
right there
enough.
at Camp,
Close enough.
Camp Patriot. It was just. I was like, sorry, fuck.
You all right, buddy?
Wow, we only
Y'all
been
give
gone
that
for 3
punchline credit because it's fucking
Motherfucker,
3
amazing.
weeks.
God, how horrible is comedy in Houston?
I had my balls worked
Well,
on,
you've
Trey.
been
It's
out
been
here
bad.
doing
I've not
that.
been. There's not been a lot of
What?
shit funny to me. Yeah, we'll get into that later.
Wow.
But
Take
me,
that wisdom
me and
too.
Chris go on stage and just eat it. It's just bad. And then we couldn't take that shit. Tom Tran, he was the other guy on the tour. He was like, "Oh, it's just military shows." He goes to bed. Me and Chris are fucked up about it. So we go to the cigarette booth
Of course, Tom Tran went to bed. He got shot in the fucking helmet when he's an actual soldier who was in Iraq during shock and awe. There's video of him getting shot in the helmet.
Yes,
So yeah, he probably went to bed after a couple of fucking jokes didn't work. I'm just saying.
Well, he was doing a
Probably
guitar.
slept
he
like
was
a
doing
baby.
a guitar act.
He's like, I didn't have to dig a hole for my own bed tonight. This
We
is,
we had a running joke the whole time we were over there. Is how long it would take us to be in a room with the generals before Tom announced that he was ex-special forces.
oh yeah. of course.
Me and Chris had a running bet on like money going back and forth between us. But we do the show.
Usually
we
it's
eat
the
it.
SEALs who are the first to tell you.
Tom goes to bed. If me and Chris can't handle it, we're like, that was fucked up. That does not feel good. I don't feel good. I won't go to bed.
No alcohol.
And we went out to no alcohol. We go out to the cigarette booth. You know, the little tent they set up where they can smoke
pit.
cigarettes by the porta potties.
Mhm.
And there's about 30 soldiers there, and we had the show of our motherfucking life at the cigarette booth that night.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of
You
like
killed that, yeah.
I wasn't singing jazz songs at a cool club, but I was
Yeah.
having this set
And
of
I
my
had
life.
and I had a good time. And everybody was like, "You had a good set. You were fine." I was just like, "I don't feel right about it. I just didn't feel right." But that was a good time. I will say, Slade should be a tour consultant.
Well, it kind of is.
I'm not lying.
It
Like
kinda
everybody
is,
should
right?
call him like, so what do I? Because the way it was just, it was just set up right. Like I said, like I
Yeah.
was way away from home. The first I've ever been away from home
Scary.
in my life.
Yeah, man.
No, it was never scary.
No, but
Be-
it could have been. It could have been.
It could have been. Yeah,
except
exactly.
That you were with somebody who had it organized well and
And
knew the lay of the land and could walk.
I
you through it.
never felt out of place, even when we jumped off the side of a mountain. Which if you
That's
wanna know
crazy. Ask Slade what the first question I asked
He
him.
goes, did Trey do that?
That was the first.
Matter of fact, it was my idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
Learn more about
He
it
goes-
on
he goes-
Slade Runner on YouTube.
He goes, I jumped off a mountain today. I go, did Trey do that?
He-
Did Trey-
dude,
Like
I-
shit, he was right behind me.
Again, it sounds overly complimentary. It's between the two of us because I was really impressed with the chances you took, knowing that I've known you the whole time since the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
I've known you. So it was, but also I'm like, man, if you're gonna follow me into because I'm quick
way
to
more
be like,
adventurous.
hey
Yeah.
man, run off the side of shit with me. I will drag you into crazy places quickly, and I haven't always been so considerate about whether or not people want to follow me off
Oh,
those
no,
mountains.
I have a list of do's and don'ts with you. I very much do. It's written. It's signed by me and Rachel, and we know what's okay. But yeah, I have a list of do's and don'ts.
Totally fair. But I try to. So I try to be a little bit more considerate now. So this tour was like after 2 years of being off, I'm very, very prone to want to do reckless stuff. So I made a point to try to be, hey man, like more explanatory, to give more explanation
Yeah.
when I just ran off the bus. And hopefully, I think we had a really good time. I
had-
documented a lot of it. You'll see us jumping off the mountain on Slade Runner is
On
really
Slade
cool.
Runner
You
on
can go to
YouTube.
it's on my YouTube channel and it's just at Slade Ham and
It's the only place
Excuse me, sorry.
that'll do any of the tours that he's done and the one that we just did justice.
I hope it does. It's
It captures everything. And at this, you can try to explain it, but that's the best place to try to consume all of the experience.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I've watched a bunch of the older Slade Runners because I was trying to learn how to edit video under some of the tutelage of Slade and Adam, and
Tutelage, that word made a
Tutelage.
fucking. Oh no, tutelage.
That's a roll.
Tutelage.
Not tutelage.
What was it?
Tutelage. Tutelage
Ah,
like when
my
people
bad.
teach you shit.
Yeah, go ahead. Tutelage. My bad.
I mean, that's the best definition I got, right?
It's
Pretty
fair.
Close?
And
Okay.
yeah.
People teach shit.
Tutelage. Yeah,
I was a
got it.
pupil. You know?
no, so it's a there's a lot of cool stuff to see there, and we were in Humvees and we were running under
We
tunnels
had a great
in
time,
in
man.
German villages where they train people to kill people. There's so much cool shit that we got to do. We'd probably never ever download it all here. So for an episode's worth of just here's like a crash course of all the shit we saw. That's a good place to go see
Go
the
to
rest of
Slade
it.
Runner.
And our own YouTube channel for the Whiskey Brothers. You were kind of in charge of chopping stuff up the whole time, and we leave Jerry in charge, and he ends up playing all 4 roles.
Oh yeah.
And what I
Damn, I miss these guys.
what I love the most, and it's a testament to how shitty the internet is. When you post a video the first time, which is just Jerry doing impressions of everybody on the show,
Yeah.
a handful of people watch it. When you title it "White Comic Impersonates Lebanese and Black Comic," suddenly the views go through the roof. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for some really well done stuff, Jerry Wayne did a really good version of all of us.
He did.
I was
He
very
nailed me.
very impressed by.
I
He
had fun
fucking
with
nailed
that.
me. I like the. I think that's what you do when we're gone. Because we're leaving and doing shit. But
All right, we got to end this episode. We have a second episode coming up. If you're watching us on Twitch, 964 will be out for the rest of you guys on Friday. Shouts out to Adam Taylor and Big Will Loden showing up in the
Will
back of house for us soon.
boom.
They don't want no problems. Nah.
Music provided by Scarface. Thank you for listening to yet another excellent episode of the Whiskey Brothers Podcast, the world's funniest podcast ever. The Whiskey Brothers Podcast was made in America by Americans, mostly in and around the Houston area. All content copyright the Whiskey Brothers. This concludes our broadcast day. Goodbye.